Hello, my loves. Today's video is for a woman who feels something is missing in her life. Maybe you are successful in your career, doing really amazing in your life, you are independent, and you've done all the right things. Yet, deep inside, you feel disconnected, exhausted, and simply numb. I get it, because I was there too. Corporate culture or society in general teaches us to be productive, efficient, and constantly on. But in this world, no one teaches a woman how to stay connected to her body, her emotions, and her feminine essence. Well, what is even feminine essence? I still remember the moment that changed my life. I was going through Kundalini awakening process and my body was just giving up and I was looking for help. And by this time, I had done a lot of work already, a lot of healing work, self development work, but nothing was working for me. And then I met this woman who was a medicine woman, and that day changed my life. She wasn't like anyone I had ever seen before. Not my mom, not any other female in my life. There was something very special about her. Her energy flowed effortlessly. She was moving with grace and she was radiating this deep magnetic presence. And for the first time, I realized this is what a woman embodied in her full feminine essence looks like. This was the kind of energy I was disconnected from. And this is what most of us are disconnected from. That moment set my healing journey on a very different direction. For me, it became all about healing my feminine energy within myself and coming back into the power of my own feminine essence and reclaiming my feminine power. Also, through my feminine rising, this experience, I was finally able to connect the dots of my own healing journey. And I realized that there are key elements every woman should consider if she truly wants to heal her feminine energy. So I have created a blueprint, a clear guide to help you navigate this path with clarity. If you're looking for similar answers, this will definitely give you a framework to start your journey. In this video, I'm going to take you through the whole process. I will show you the guide, and you will also have an option to download it for free so that you can start your journey and step into your most radiant and authentic self. So let's begin. All right, so once you download the manual, this is what you will receive, the guidebook. And let me take you through the process. And before going through the steps, let's first understand what is an embodied feminine. So, an embodied feminine woman is somebody who's deeply present in her body. She's connected to her emotions. She doesn't suppress or ignore her emotions. And she is very much aligned with her inner wisdom. She moves through life with authenticity. She's very authentic. She's self aware and she's confident. She listens to her body's needs, honors her emotions, and nurtures her feminine energy. And this allows her to express her true essence in a grounded, empowered way. In short, she's whole, alive, and radiantly in tune with her feminine nature. But what happened to all of us? Why have we become so disembodied and disconnected from our feminine? So, there are a few reasons. One is that we are disconnected from our feminine body, the body that we are in right now. We fully connected to it? We ignore our body's natural rhythms. We push through exhaustion instead of resting. These are all the reasons that have disconnected us from our beautiful feminine bodies. And we do not even know how the body speaks to us. It speaks to us in whispers. But have we ever learned how to listen to these whispers, how to understand them? No, absolutely not. The second reason is suppressing emotions. So, how often do we say, I'm fine, when we're actually not? Feminine energy actually thrives when emotions flow freely, when we allow our emotions to flow freely. And suppressing feelings blocks us because suppressed emotions, they get stored in the body, and then there is no space for experiencing joy, pleasure, and aliveness within us. And emotions are basically messengers. When we allow ourselves to feel them fully, We reconnect with our truth. And the other reason is that we are basically living in our head. Overthinking keeps us disconnected from our bodies. The feminine thrives in the now, experiencing life through the senses. Being present means feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, savoring your favorite meal, enjoying touch, movement, and connection. This is what feminine craves. And if you struggle to drop into the present moment, it's time to reconnect. The other one is the fear of vulnerability. We are actually often, we're taught to be strong and independent, but actually at what cost? Fear of vulnerability can keep us closed off forever. True embodiment requires us to be open, raw, and authentic. Through vulnerability, we actually experience deeper connection and empowerment. And the other reason is we are living through the masculine lens. So, our world often values control, achievement, and constant productivity. And this leads to overworking and exhaustion, overgiving without receiving, feeling disconnected from softness, flow, and ease. Feminine energy flourishes when we embrace trust, surrender, and balance. Now, let's go through the process. There are four essential pillars in healing your feminine energy. The first is awareness, second, healing the feminine physiology, third, mastering emotional regulation, and fourth is doing the deep soul work, depth that feminine truly craves. So now let's go through them. All right, the step one is self awareness. Like any meaningful journey, we begin with most crucial step, self-awareness. As they say, awareness is the key that opens the doors to change. Without it, we move through life unconsciously, reacting rather than choosing, surviving rather than thriving. So just imagine setting off on a road trip without a map or a destination. You will be wandering aimlessly, right? Uncertain of where you are or where you're going. This is why we begin with self awareness. And self awareness is not self judgment, it is about understanding. It is about illuminating the corners of your life and bringing light to the areas that have been in shadows. When you take a moment to truly see yourself, your patterns, your desires, your struggles, you gain the power to shift, heal, and grow. So I invite you today to take a deep breath, turn your gaze inward, and ask yourself, where am I right now in my life? And where do I truly want to be? This is where you'll start. Step two is cultivating a wholesome and intimate relationship with your feminine physiology. Most important. Once you establish self awareness, okay, the next step is to honor the temple that houses your spirit, your body. Your body is not just a physical form. It is the sacred vessel of your feminine energy. That's where your feminine energy thrives, can truly thrive if your temple is clean and strong. When you learn to nourish your body with love and intention, you cultivate a relationship of trust and harmony with yourself. Trust, very important, that feminine needs. So, two important components. I will divide the body as certain two important components. First, the very basic, the basics of your well being, nutrition, and movement. The foods we eat, the way we move, and care for the care we give to our body all impact our vitality, your emotions, and even your spiritual connection. The key is not rigid discipline. That's not what I'm asking, or following a diet culture blindly, but rather going for what your body truly desires, intuitive nourishment, listening to what it truly craves, and how does it want to feel nourished. Our body is a living, breathing organism that requires a regular movement. So, physical activity is another vital aspect of nourishing your body and keeping it active and strong and flexible so your feminine energy can thrive within you. The second component of caring for your body is embracing feminine health and sacred rituals, which are beyond the basics. We must also honor our feminine rhythms. We must understand the depth of our menstrual cycle. It's not just a biological process, it's a sacred rhythm, an opportunity to reflect, release, and realign each month. When we track our cycle, okay, and align with its phases, we experience greater harmony and energy. So, incorporating sacred feminine rituals like womb meditations, yoni cleansing, or journaling, it all allows you to reconnect with your essence and celebrate your body as a source of wisdom and power. I have a very special self paced course to address the step two, where I help you heal your relationship with your feminine body. If this resonates with you, I invite you to explore this online course. Link is included in the description. It's called Healing the Feminine Within, where I guide you step by step in creating a deeper bond with your feminine physiology through various transformative practices. Now, step number three is emotional mastery. A woman who can navigate and embrace her emotions with grace is the most powerful presence in any room. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing or controlling your emotions, it's about understanding them, honoring them, and integrating them as part of your feminine essence. Because feminine thrives when we let the emotions flow as is without any judgment and allow them to alchemize into something meaningful and powerful. And our emotions are never random, they are messengers. They reveal what our soul craves, what needs healing, and what deserves celebration. When you learn to work with them rather than resist them, you unlock a wellspring of inner power and wisdom. So, how do we cultivate emotional mastery? First, by understanding the role of emotions. Every emotion, joy, sadness, anger, fear, they all hold valuable insight into our inner world. Instead of reacting impulsively, well, at times, maybe that's okay to do, but we must also learn to pause and ask, what is this emotion trying to teach me? Is there a need or boundary I've been ignoring? How can I honor this feeling without letting it control me? Second, by creating a sacred space for emotional expression, you must give this to yourself. The feminine thrives in nurturing environments where emotions can flow freely. So, whether it's journaling, movement, breath work, or simply sitting in silence, you must learn this art and allow your emotions to surface, be acknowledged, and move through you. And finally, by balancing feeling with grounding. So, while emotions are a vital part of your feminine nature, staying grounded ensures you're not swept away by them. So, simple practices like mindful breathing, walking barefoot on earth, or engaging in intuitive movements, all these activities help you anchor in the present moment. And remember, emotional mastery does not mean never feeling unpleasant emotions. This is not the state that we are chasing to reach. It means developing the wisdom to embrace them, work with them, understand them, take out the wisdom out of them, and choose how we move forward. And if you desire a deeper support in this area, I invite you to book an embodiment session with me if you want to explore emotional regulation and empowerment. Trust me, you will not regret booking a session with me. All right, step four, the last step is soul work. Once you have become a woman who has cultivated a healthy relationship with your body and mastered emotional regulation, you are ready for the deepest phase of this journey, soul work. Now, I I've given you all these steps one by one, but this does not mean you have to go one step at a time. Everything will be working together. Awareness, working on your feminine physiology, emotional regulation, and doing the soul work. These are all happening in parallel. I have given you all these steps so you better understand what this soul journey is all about. Now, in the soul work, this is where you step into your highest truth. You start shedding the layers of conditioning that the feminine in you has gone through that have kept you from your authentic self. This is this is the deepest work, and I always believe there is a unique life story that lies within you, all of us, that lies within each of us, and that's filled with lessons, wounds, and gifts. To truly embody your feminine essence, you must embrace this story, understand it, and transform it into a source of strength. This phase is an invitation to first, you explore your life narrative, what stories have shaped your identity, which ones empower you and which ones limit you. Next, you illuminate your shadows, what fears, doubts, or wounds have been buried within you. When you bring these parts into the light with compassion, you reclaim your wholeness. And after that, you reclaim your power as the creator. You're not a victim of circumstances. You hold the power to shape your life. This realization that we go through is never about blame, it is about liberation. And finally, you transform your wounds into strength. Your pain has a purpose. When you choose to heal, you turn your wounds into wisdom, your struggles into resilience. Soul work is the path to profound self discovery and empowerment. It is about aligning with your purpose, your essence, and your unique truth. Above all, it is about remembering who you were always meant to be. And if you are someone who's ready to dive deep into this work, I invite you to step into a coaching container with me where you will be held, guided, and supported as you navigate this sacred journey of transformation. Okay, so in the end, I want to say that the feminine within each of us looks very different. It has its own unique presence. The more you work with your whole being, the more you will realize what it is for you. It's not about fitting into a mold that you have to look a certain way, you have to be a certain way to look like somebody who has healed her feminine energy. No, this is not about that. It's about reclaiming what has been yours, uniquely yours. Your body is not just something to manage, it is your wisdom keeper, the wisdom of your feminine energy. Your emotions are not obstacles, they are your guides, the whispers of your soul. And your soul is always guiding you towards your deepest alignment to become your most authentic self. If you're ready to begin your journey and transform the way you experience yourself, download your copy now, given in the description of this video. Your journey home to yourself begins now, and I'll see you next time.